Welcome back. This is Meditations with ConLucius. Today, I'll be meditating on the perfect clip length. Now, I thought on this because there's the algorithm method. The method of going for 10 minutes time or over, knowing that the YouTube algorithm favors the videos at that length or longer. Now, live streams can go, I'd say, from 1 hour in excess of even a day. Those seem like marathon elements, things that are event-wise, like big moments for a channel, meant for promotion, meant for a celebration, meant for some sort of event. I don't really do that many live streams. I don't really have the time to do that many live streams in general. However, it's a function, especially when it comes to what I am going for, which is kind of trying to be an artist or do my own book, within the comics gate realm, Indiegogo crowdfunding scene. And it's something that you can pull off as one person. It's just a lot to do, especially if you have real life commitments, a job, a relationship, work, or a social life as well. Or even just wanting to be something of a consumer yourself. And I've never tried to push my content past any magic point. I've never tried to just pad it out. Those sorts of things, they just frankly piss me off when I see them happen. I've seen a number of videos. I don't know how these people have the sub counts they do, the watch counts they do. It's insane to think that people will sit through that, and yet I'm also surprised how many people streaming in the moment won't have an ad block on their stuff. They watch everything with ads in it, and I don't know. I can't imagine an experience like that. Doing any kind of ad-free internet browsing, video watching, anything drives me up a wall. So I've thought on, do you hit that 10-minute mark? And I think as far as the content goes, it's nice and to the point. I would like to think most drive times would hit that. Either, you do a 5-minute quick trip there and 5 minutes back, 10-minute commute to work. I think on programs that I've watched where you have the different lengths, generally speaking, episodes go, for the most part, 22 minutes to 40 minutes for a hour air slots, filling in with commercials. And I think that somewhere around there is the actual thing. You have enough content to consume, enjoy, and ponder upon. You kill time at the same time. And it's one of those things where maybe the challenge should be to have enough content to fill that out. There are sometimes, though, even in the making of this video, I thought about being kind of stupid, putting on a character, and that still may come. Don't put it past me. But there's the one where I talked about being in this desolate Corona wasteland some time ago, and that was only 2 minutes, as they put on like this gruff apocalyptic survivor voice to make light of the whole thing. Ironically enough, I ended up pretty much getting it myself later on, but it's something that I've wondered about, and wonder what the people look for. A number of these channels are now just like live stream of paloozas, and you just tune in or you don't. You watch what you want or you don't. It's much easier, I have to say, to hit the live broadcast button and just have it posted up there for you, rather than even in the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that much, but in the other ones where it's just still images, I have to pick the spots where those go, time them out, pace it out, make sure sometimes when there's video clips going in that they don't crossfade, overlap each other to the point that it completely negates the clip that it was. That's why I haven't done the intro clips in some time, just because those are a pain in the ass for me to do. I use the iMovie on my iPad, and it doesn't seem to want to work with me on some things. So yeah, figuring out the spots like timestamps in a recording, to know when to drop in a relevant image or where the video should be placed. I have to basically rehear everything I've already recorded and then figure out from there where I'm going to put in a new clip, which again then adjust your timing for everything else off again. It's a hassle. It's a hassle, man. It ain't easy trying to do this, junks. But yeah, that's been my meditation on it. I think probably I can hit 5 to 10 minutes pretty well. When I was doing the drive cast, which I haven't done in a while, mainly because it's a bit more crazy for me to try to do it. Things are back at functioning levels, I think, for the most part, where I'm at. And traffic is back to being a pain in the ass, a real strong pain in the ass. And I get the feeling like people are a lot more heavy on the foot and coming out of their quarantines and such. So, not as free to just hold my phone and record it. Before I was putting it into my, oh man, not the drink holder, but pretty much the thing that's by it. The only thing is that would rattle around and pick up road noise a lot more in that spot. And ever since a few of you mentioned there's too much background noise, I've been kind of holding it a few inches away from like my face, as if I were having a phone convo with you and recording it that way. I need to find a better setup for doing that, and I keep thinking on mics. If you guys know a good mic, I've looked at reviews and stuff, and it seems like the Blue Yeti thing is like the top rated one, but it's a lot of money just for like buying it. And then I kind of wonder too, will it mess with like the processing and ability to run a stream and everything? I find maybe it's easier for the whole system to work on internal components. When you hear me streaming, that's just my laptop running its own mic off the like top portion of it. And I don't want to have any lag. It's already irritating enough sometimes to try to get a word in on some of these live streams, and I don't want any more lag than there has to be. But that's another thing. I just think that this is what I ponder upon sometimes when I'm stuck in a situation where I'm sort of hostage. This is usually at work. And my mind wanders while my body remains in this situation, and I go through the motions of something or what have you, and I just have my thoughts to carry me along. And there was a great talk, by the way. It makes me think on it. It's like escapism, and there's this portion. Dan Fraga was on with Nick Recada's stream a couple nights ago. Really good conversation that they had, and he talked about how he was in a chicken farm and that his chores pretty much took up all of his free time as a kid, and that left him to have to make the stories and things he wanted up in his own head, and eventually had a radio so he could listen to what was television broadcast, but he had to imagine what was going on with it as it was going on, as he was listening to it doing this stuff. And it was an interesting thought to have, and it's like so many times I find myself in that same scenario, except it's just the mundanity of my own life, and I'm sure many of you have the same thing where you just daydream and you kind of let your mind hit the freeways of your imagination and start flooring the son of a bitch into whatever area you want to think on, whether it's good or bad. It's as a sword that cuts probably all ways. It's like the queen on the chessboard. Which direction do you want to go? But yeah, that's a little more off topic than I thought I'd get. But how long can you really talk about the time length you do for a clip? And I guess if you guys have any preferences, any thoughts of your own, this is meant to be thought provoking as well. Where would you put it at? What would you want from it? And I'll catch up with you another time. I'm looking at making this a regular thing. I'll probably come up with some stupid voice to put with it. I'm just going to throw up 2 of the Cecil drawings that kind of go with it, and a new title to go with it as well. And maybe in the future I'll spiff those out a bit more. I was hoping to have animated titles for almost all the segments that I do. Unfortunately, I found myself in a position where I keep adding more and more things, more and more plates to spin, and not getting any more time to actually finish them. And it's kind of getting in the way, and I wish that something would come along that could just strike me, you know, and like strike down all the stuff that's not important and get to the one thing I should be focusing on, but yet to find that. So at any rate, guys, I'm going to catch up with you another time. Take care. This is ConLucius Meditations.